Hello everyone, good morning guys, good morning everyone. Am I audible and visible? Hi guys, am I audible and visible everyone? Please confirm if I'm audible and visible. Audible and visible guys, quickly confirm in the chat box. Ravi, are we live? Okay. Good morning people, good morning everyone. How are you guys? How are you? Ready for the class? Ready for the class guys? Come on everyone. Let's start. Audible, visible, okay, great. I hope you are doing well. Yes. I hope you are doing well. You are in good spirits. Your motivation is high. Okay. What happened. Don't think about the past. Think about the future. Think what is there after the next few months. Think about the next NEET examination. Think about that, how you will conquer it, how you will crack it. Daily basis. Every single day your effort is required. Every single day we have to sit. We have to study. We have to dedicate ourselves. Every day, put up a poster. NEET 2027, I have to become a doctor. What I am doing for it? I am doing enough or not? So every day, every single day counts. Motivation, dedication, energy, yes, that is there. But after some time, motivation will go down. But then the discipline will come. Discipline is required. Daily basis effort is needed. Daily basis, you have to sit, you have to study, you have to revise, you have to practice some MCQs, you have to listen to your teachers. So daily basis, if you are doing in a disciplined manner, you can achieve anything. So what I believe, a focused idiot. You have to become a focused idiot. A focused idiot who is focused, he has a dedicated plan, he is a disciplined, he knows that I am having some weakness, but I am daily basis focusing myself. I am daily basis practicing studying. So a focused idiot can beat a talented, undisciplined person. So a focused idiot can beat a talented, undisciplined person. I have seen many students who are very talented. First year they came, they were scoring very good marks in the 11th standard, but then little bit, adolescence is there. You studied in adolescence. Our mind is very curious. It runs here and there. We are emotional fools. At adolescent age, we are emotional fools. We are not able to keep our energy channelized. You are having high energy. 440 volts of energy is running in you. So you need to channelize your energy. You need to focus. So that's why I said, we all are idiots. I was also idiot. But then I made myself focused. For one whole year, in a disciplined manner, I focused. I was having some good friends. The good friends were very scholar. They were helping me also. So I was being motivated by them. I was looking at their discipline. I was following my own discipline. So in a disciplined manner, you can achieve anything, guys. So there was a small motivation. Okay, because in starting, we need some motivation. But then the whole journey will be running on only one thing. And one thing is discipline. So let us start with the topic. Okay, we will start with a new topic today, a very important topic. It is like bridging, a small topic which is being deleted from your NCERT textbook, a small topic which is deleted from your NCERT textbook, that is your animal tissue. Animal tissue is deleted. It was initially there in the structural organization in animal topic, but now that part is deleted. But that was a very crucial part. Epithelial tissue, connective tissue, basics of tissue you require. Basics of tissue is required to understand the physiological mechanism. Because to understand the physiological mechanism, you are studying the organs, you are studying the organ system. And when you are studying the organ system, you need to know tissues. So what we are going to do? We are going to brush up some important concepts of tissues, where you may get some direct or indirect question based on this. I will tell you how to make the question on this. Am I clear? Once we completed the tissue part, Once we complete the tissue part, we can start with the other chapters like animal kingdom, frog, and then we will proceed ahead. Are you getting me, guys? Yes. So let us start with that. So let us start with the topic, animal tissue. So before asking with the tissue, where is the animal tissue being formed? Where it originates? So we are talking about which tissue, guys? Which we are talking about? What we are talking about? We are talking about animal tissue. We are talking about animal tissue. Okay, some students are asking the name. I am Dr. Siddharth. Dr. Siddharth Yadav, teaching the NEET UG program, zoology subject for the last 14 years. I have dedicated myself and I have enjoyed my 14 years, enjoyed the teaching because it's a passion to teach. And I have enjoyed my many students getting into the AIMS College, JIPMER College. Many of the students are studying in the AIMS and JIPMER and the other government medical college. So it's a passion. Teaching is a passion. I enjoy my students getting success. And with every student getting the success, it brings me more joy. My joy just, gets square rooted, I will say. Am I clear? So where does the animal tissue originate, guys? Animal tissue, when it originates, when it starts being formed. So starting will take place from fertilization. Starting will take place from where, guys? It will start from fertilization. So in human reproduction, you have studied fertilization. That is the fusion of the male and female gamete in the fallopian tube ampulla part. So after fertilization, there is formation of zygote. After fertilization, what is there, guys? There is formation of zygote. Okay, now zygote will develop into embryo structure. What is the first structure being formed? Come on. I will not talk alone. You also have to speak. Okay? A monologue is not a good thing. Dialogue we need. You also speak. You also tell me what you know. So after zygote, you get the embryo. Which is the first stage of the embryo you get? The first stage of the embryo we get is morula. Very good. Morula, mulberry-like 8 to 16 cell. Yes. After morula, what you get, guys? After morula, this is reaching the uterus. In the uterus, there is some rearrangement happening. And the rearrangement happening, what you get is next, blastula. What you get, guys? Blastula, which is also called as blastocyst. Little bit remembering or not. Start eating almonds and do revision. Your memory will increase. After zygote, you get morula. Morula gets converted to blastula. That is blastocyst. Now blastocyst will go under which process? Tell me. Blastocyst will go under implantation. Blastocyst will go under implantation. Yes, someone is saying cleavage. Yes, cleavage is correct. Because to get morula, your zygote went into mitotic divisions. Mitotic division of the zygote is called cleavage. So from the cleavage process, you got the morula. Correct? Now after implantation, what is the next story? Once the blastocyst is completely buried, it is completely embedded. Inside the endometrium. What happens next, guys? What is the next stage? It is given in NCERT. Now we will be having a structure called as gastrula. What structure? Gastrula. So now after implantation, you are going to get a structure called as gastrula. Yes or no, everyone? You got gastrula? Now this is the important step. In the gastrula, there will be differentiation and 3 embryonic layers will be formed. So in gastrula, you will see formation of 3 embryonic layers. What do you see? Formation of 3 embryonic layers. 3 embryonic layers are also called as the germ layers. They are also called as what, guys? They are also called as germ layers. Are you getting me? fertilization, followed by zygote, followed by embryogenesis. What are the different stages of embryo you got? First you got morula. Second you got blastula. Blastula got implanted and got converted into gastrula. In gastrula, due to the differentiation and rearrangement, the morpho differentiation and the rearrangement, all is genetically programmed. You got 3 embryonic layer, germ layers. And which are the 3 germ layers? Which are the 3 germ layers you got? The 3 germ layers you got is ectoderm, endoderm, mesoderm. Perfect. I hope this much you know. Ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm we got. Are we clear with this? Yes, these germ layer behave like stem cells. Yes, definitely they behave like stem cells. And now, once you got the germ layers, the germinal layers you got. Germinal layers are also called as embryonic layers. You got which one? You got ectoderm, endoderm, mesoderm. Now what is going to happen? If you say epithelial tissue, epithelial tissue is derived from ectoderm, endoderm, mesoderm. Ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm. So wherever in your body epithelial tissue is there, at some places it will be derived from ectoderm, some places it will be derived from endoderm, some places it will be derived from mesoderm. Next tissue is which one? Next tissue is connective tissue. Next tissue is connective tissue. Connective tissue is derived from which one? Come on, tell me in the chat box. Connective tissue is derived from which germ layer? Tell me, students, fast. Connective tissue is derived from which germ layer? Fast, fast, fast. No, Yogi, not endoderm. Yes, Bhargava, yes, correct. Connective tissue is derived from mesoderm germ layer. So whatever connective tissue you have in your body, areolar tissue, dense connective tissue, adipose tissue, blood, then bone, cartilage, they all are connective tissue, and it is all derived from which germ layer? All is derived from mesoderm. Okay, after connective, which one is there? Muscular tissue. What is muscular tissue derived from? Muscular tissue is also derived from mesoderm germ layer. Muscular tissue is also derived from mesoderm germ layer. Skeletal muscle, smooth muscle or cardiac muscle, any muscle, it is derived from which germ layer we are saying here? Mesoderm. Okay, moving ahead. After muscular, what is there? After muscular, what is there? After muscular, there is a nervous tissue. Come on, nervous tissue. Anyone in the chat box? Nervous tissue, come on. Nervous tissue, yes, Mohan Sai. Correct. Ectoderm. Okay. Very good. Yes, beta. Ectoderm. So, this much data you should know. Am I clear? So, sometimes match the column question, which tissue from which germ layer. This was all asked in the PYQs. Those were all PYQ questions, but that is required for your basic understanding. So, once we have understood, okay, that these are the tissues, they are derived from what? They are derived from the germ layers. Are we clear? Yes, this is speaking generally. Might be in between there some exceptions are there, but this is generally we are speaking. Are we clear with this? Next. So talking our body is made up of trillions of cells. Our body is made up of what, guys? Our body is made up of trillions of cells, and the trillions of cells are of 200 types. Trillions of cells are divided into how many types of cells? At least 200 types of cells are there. So our body is made up of trillion cells. The trillion cells are of 200 types, but in this 200 type of cells, there are 2 basic types. The 2 basic types are, which cell? Anyone? The 2 basic types are, one is somatic cell and another one is germ cells. One is somatic and one is germ cells. One is somatic cell and another one is germ cells. So your body is roughly made up of trillion number of cells. The cells are of 200 types: liver, lung, kidney, heart, different places, different cells. So 200 types of cells. These 200 type of cells are divided into two basic types: somatic and germ cells. Which are the germ cells? Tell me. Which are the germ cells? Germ cells will be sperm and ovum. Remaining all cells are somatic. Now what is the meaning of soma? Soma means body. What is the meaning of soma? Soma means body. So basically it means other than germ cells, your whole body is made up of somatic cells. So can I say somatic cells? Can I say this? Somatic cells are grouped under four tissues, are under four types of tissues, which you call as epithelial, connective, muscular, and nervous tissue. Are we clear with this, guys? Simple, understanding clear. Body made up of trillion cells, 200 type of cells. There are two basic type of cell: somatic cell, germ cell. Germ cell is sperm and ovum. Somatic cells are grouped into four different type of tissue: epithelial, connective, and muscular and nervous. Clear hai? Epithelial, Mohan Sai, epithelial can be, see, epithelial is majorly derived from ecto, but at some places it is endo also and meso also. So that's why we are saying that epithelial can be ecto also, endo also, meso also. Clear hai, Baba? Clear hai? Chalo, chill. Now let's go to our slides and see the epithelial tissue topic. Okay, let us start. Come on. So, let us start with the tissue. Before starting with the tissue topic, we should know that unicellular cells. We are multicellular animals. We are multicellular organisms. We have a lot of cells in our body. But before multicellular animals or organisms, we had unicellular organisms. Amoeba, paramecium. Here is the example like Euglena, a unicellular organism. In your body today, you have organ system to perform different function. But talking about a unicellular cell, in unicellular organism, all the function of like digestion, respiration, reproduction, it is performed by single cell. In your body, is it performed by single cell or it is performed by different organ system? It is performed by different organ system. In an organ system, there are different organs which are supporting that function, and in the organ there is tissue which is helping in that function. So talking about unicellular animal, division of labor is there or not there? Division of work in unicellular, there or not there? There or not there? In unicellular organism, no division of labor, no splitting the work, no dividing the work. But as we became multicellular, the division of the work started. The division of the work started. So what we are saying here, look here, in complex body of multicellular animals, we are complex body, yaar. In our body, we have specialized connective tissue like blood, we have nervous tissue, muscle, connective, cartilage, adipose, epithelial, bone. Different tissues are there, which are organizing into the different organs, and they are responsible for different functions. So in complex body of multicellular animals, the same basic functions are carried out by different group of cells. It means we have high division of labor, guys. What do we have? High division of labor. What is the meaning of different group of cell? Different group of cells are making tissues. It means we are having different tissues for doing different function, which are organized in organ, and organs are interconnected to make the organ system for the particular physiological function. Physiological function means body functions like respiration, excretion, digestion, reproduction. For that, you have different systems. System made up of organ. But what is organ made up of? Tissue. So multicellular organisms, they have tissue. So let us define tissue. Come on. What is tissue? Let's define it. What is the definition of tissue, guys? Come on. What is the definition of tissue? Let's define tissue. In multicellular animals, group of similar cells, similar shape, similar size, similar structure, with what? With the intercellular substance. Group of similar cells with intercellular substance performing a specific function. Not performing all the function, performing a specific function. Such an organization in our body is called as a tissue. Are yes or no? Yes. And they are having a common origin also. They are having common origin. Yes or no? So this is the definition of tissue. Group of similar cell. Look at this. All of them are similar cells. And these two cells are having what? In between this cell, what is there? Intercellular substance. So between two cells, between the two cells, there is one cell here and one cell here. Yes. What is the space between the two cells called as? What is the space between the two cells called as? Space, I am asking. Space. The space. The space is called intercellular space. And what is this intercellular space having? The intercellular space is filled with intercellular substance. What is there here? There is intercellular substance. Intercellular substance is there. Are we clear with this, guys? So tissue is group of similar cells with intercellular substance. They perform a specific function. Many students confuse this. Sir, what is intercellular space and what is intercellular substance? The gap between two cells or the space between two cells is the intercellular space. Intra ledu. Intra will be inside cell. Intra, I-N-T-R-A, it will become intra, inside. We are talking inter, in between. Inter is in between the cell. There is a space and that is filled with intercellular substance. So this is a characteristic of all tissues. All tissues will be having group of cells. They will be having intercellular space, and that intercellular space will be filled with intercellular substance. Now, depending upon which tissue it is, depending upon different tissues, the space and the substance, the space between the cell and the substance will change. The space and substance will change. And yes, this intercellular substance can be also called as what? Intercellular substance can be also called as ground substance. Intercellular substance will be also called as ground substance, or it can be also called as matrix. It can be also called as matrix. Okay? So don't get confused. In between two cells, there is intercellular space. In the intercellular space, there is intercellular substance. Intercellular substance can be called as ground substance, or it can be also called as matrix. And one simple thing, different tissue will have different amount of space. Some tissue may have very less space. They are tightly packed. Some tissues, they are loosely packed. Lot of space is there. If lot of space is there, lot of intercellular substance will come. Very little space is there, very little substance will be there. This is the basics you should know. And moving with this definition, we will go ahead and talk about the other points. Okay, so in your body, what is happening? In our human body, cell is organized into tissue, tissue is organized into organ, organ is organized into organ system. Why? To perform the function more efficiently, to perform the physiological function, body function more efficiently. We have split up the work, we have divided the work. So our body, multicellular organism body, it shows, exhibits. Exhibit means to show. It shows high division of labor. What it shows? High division of labor. High division of labor in unicellular organism will be very kuncham. In fact, in sponge you studied. Sponge is the simplest animal, yes or no? Sponge, porifera. It is the simplest animal. And the organization is cellular organization. Sponge is cellular organization. So in sponge, the function is done by the cells. Mostly all the cells are doing the similar kind of function. Okay, very kuncham division of labor is there. Very little division of labor in sponges. But when you go to coelentrates, that is cnidaria, the division of labor improves because now tissue is formed. When you go to organ level in platyhelminthes, division of labor will further improve because now organ is there. And when you go to Annelida, arthropoda, organ system is there, division of labor is further enhanced. So we want to perform our function, body function, physiological function, respiration, excretion, digestion more efficiently, more nicely, so that we are well adapted in the environment. So we need division of labor. Are we clear, everyone? Moving ahead, next point, next point, next point. Now talking about the proportion. Now talking about the proportion. Okay. So when I say heart is made up of cardiac muscles, true or false? When I say heart is made up of cardiac muscle, what you will say, true or false? When I say heart is made up of cardiac muscle, will you say true or false? You will say true only, na yaar. You will say true. But when I say heart is only made up of cardiac muscles, if I say heart is only made up of cardiac muscle, what you will say? When I say heart is made up of only cardiac muscle, then you will say false. Sir, because heart has pericardium. Heart covering is pericardium. That is made up of epithelial tissue. Heart is filled with blood, sir. Atria ventricle is filled with blood. Blood is connective tissue, sir. Then, sir, heart is supplied by the autonomic nervous system, parasympathetic, sympathetic. That is nervous system, sir, to increase the heart rate. Sympathetic and parasympathetic is there, sir. It means a single organ cannot be made up of one type of tissue. There is the combination of different tissues. What is my point here? What I'm trying to tell you, a single organ is not made up of one tissue. It is made up of combination of tissue. Like to make biryani. Biryani is made up of rice. It is true. But when I say biryani is only made up of rice, then it will become false. Where are the spices? Where is the oil? Where is the chicken, mutton? Where is the other things? And then, what I'm saying, organ is made up of different tissues. Next, the proportion is important. What is important? The proportion is also important. Like I want to make a biryani. I'm trying to make a biryani today. I will put 1 kg of spices and 100 gram of rice and 50 grams of chicken. Is it the right proportion? Is it the right proportion? Is it the right proportion? Wrong proportion, sir. Spices are very kuncham, rice is pedda, yes or no? More amount of rice, sir. So similarly, whenever there is a organ, whenever any organ is there, these tissues are organized in specific proportion. Tissues are organized in specific proportion and pattern to form organ like stomach, lung, heart and kidney. So we need specific proportion and pattern also. And pattern also. Array, yes. The pattern and the proportion is very important. Look at stomach. Stomach is lined by columnar epithelial, yes or no? Stomach secretes the gastric juice, HCl and pepsin coming from columnar cell. Below this columnar epithelium, there is a loose connective tissue which is supporting the other tissue. Stomach does the churning of the food, physical and chemical digestion of the food. In the stomach, there is physical digestion, chemical digestion. Chemical digestion by the enzymatic action, by the pepsinogen enzymatic action, and the physical digestion is the churning of the smooth muscles, the longitudinal and circular muscles. It is not required for you to know because digestive system is deleted. But you should have an idea. Different tissues are present in the stomach in a specific proportion and a pattern. Are we clear with this? If pattern is wrong, then the tissue functioning or the organ functioning will be also become wrong. So this is a very important NCERT line. It is there in the NCERT. Tissues are organized in specific proportion and pattern to form an organ. Okay, moving ahead. Next line. Talking about the classification. The structure. Someone is saying, sir, give some questions on today's topic in attached file in the description. Okay. If the WhatsApp channel is there, then I can give it. Okay. The students who have already enrolled and they are watching, I can provide with a PDF file, but then other students, it will be difficult. Okay, anyways, we will think about something. Okay, I may share my Instagram ID or WhatsApp number. There you can ask me. I will send you the PDF file of today's topic. You can get some practice questions and you can solve, no problem. Are we clear? Chalo, next. Structure of cells vary according to their function. What is the meaning of this? Structure will vary. Like skin, can I put simple epithelium? Can I put on the skin simple epithelium? No. Skin is a protective layer. Skin faces a lot of physical stress, chemical stress. If I put a simple layer, my skin will get damaged. So I have to put which layer, guys? I have to put a compound epithelium layer. Yes. Similarly, in the alveoli, in the Bowman's capsule, will I put compound epithelium there? In my alveoli and the Bowman's capsule, will I put compound epithelium? No. Because if I put compound epithelium, the thickness will increase, the filtration and the diffusion of gases will be not there. For diffusion and filtration, you need a single layer. So that's why the structure of the cell structure and their arrangement will change. Wherever squamous is there, squamous is the flattest cell, thinnest layer of epithelium for diffusion and exchange of gases. Squamous is very flat cell. Will it secrete something? Squamous flat cells, that is meant for exchange and diffusion of gases. Will I use squamous for secretion? Will I use squamous for secretion? Squamous flat cell, yaar. Will it secrete anything? Will it secrete anything? No. Who will secrete? Cell who is having some size here. Squamous is a flat cell. Will I give him a 20 kg dumbbell to pick up? It will not pick up, Baba. So who I will tell to do the secretion function? Secretion will be done by cuboidal and columnar. Because the cell is proper shape and size, it can do certain secretions. But at the same time, I cannot use columnar and cuboidal to make my diffusion boundaries and filtration boundary, where for diffusion and filtration, I need the thinnest layer possible because the diffusion will be fast on thin layer. Are we clear? Yes, guys? So structure of the cell vary accordingly. And 4 types of tissues are there: epithelial, connective, neural, and muscular. Come on. Now, first, starting with the tissue. Come on. Starting with the first tissue. Which is the first tissue? Tell me. The first tissue is epithelial tissue. The first tissue is epithelial tissue. So let's start. Everyone awake? Everyone awake? What is happening? Akhil, what happened? Let's start with epithelial. So what do you think, what is epithelial purpose is for? First, epithelial makes your protective lining and covering. Epithelial makes your protective lining and covering. So wherever the organ is there, you are outside and you are inside. Outside and inside, wherever the protective covering and lining is there, it will be made by epithelial tissue. For example, skin, epithelium. Elementary canal lining from mouth till anus, small intestine, large intestine, stomach, epithelial lining. Any hollow organ or cavity or tube or duct, any hollow organ, cavity, tube or duct, anything which is hollow, again the lining will be of epithelium. Salivary duct, pancreatic duct, yeah, urinary bladder, ureter, urethra, wherever there is hollow cavity and ducts and tubes, there will be simple epithelium. Am I clear? Or we can say epithelial tissue is there, protective lining and covering. So imagine you are sitting in your room. Imagine your room is an organ. Imagine your room is an organ. Outside the room, protective lining, epithelium. Inside the room, there is the paint layer, that is also epithelium. So outside protective lining also epithelium, inside lining also protective epithelium. Yes? So what it is written here? Epithelial tissue has a free surface. What it has? It has the free surface. It might be either facing the outside environment, like your skin, which is compound epithelium, facing the outside environment and thus providing a covering. Or it may be making your lining. It may be making your lining of the internal part. Your intestine, fallopian tube, ureter, urinary bladder. All that things are also lined by epithelium. So lining and protective covering is done by epithelial tissue. And where is the epithelial tissue cells are sitting on? Epithelial cell tissues are sitting on the basement membrane. Look at this. A characteristic feature of epithelial tissue. Epithelial tissue sits on the basement membrane. So basement membrane will be characteristic of epithelial tissue. It is not seen in any other tissues. Basement membrane is seen only in epithelial tissue. How many layer basement membrane is made up of? Check with your eyes and tell me. Look in the diagram and tell me basement membrane is made up of how many layers? Look how many layers are there. How many layers are there in the basement membrane? Basement membrane is made up of 2 layers. How many layers, guys? 2 layers. So basement membrane is made up of 2 layers. Okay. Next question. Is it cellular or non-cellular? Is it cellular or non-cellular? Basement membrane is cellular or non-cellular? It is non-cellular. What it is, guys? It is non-cellular. Non-cellular layer. Double layered, non-cellular. Okay. What are the 2 layer name? Let's see what are the 2 layers name. Quickly let us see the name of the 2 layers. The upper first layer. The upper first layer, come on, anyone can answer this question? The upper first layer is called as the basal lamina. What it is called as? The basal lamina. Yes, and the lower level will be called as reticular lamina. The second lower level will be called as reticular lamina. Please make a note of it. It is old PYQ questions, so this concept should be clear to you. Basement membrane, 2 layers. Which is the first layer? Basal lamina. Which is the second layer? Reticular lamina. Is it cellular or non-cellular? Non-cellular. Then what it is made up of? Then what it is made up of? Okay. So let us make a separate note quickly. Done, everyone? Okay. So the question should come in your mind. See, question should come in your mind. Sir, if the basement membrane is non-cellular, then what it is made up of? Who is making it? Who is making it? That is the question should come in the mind. Come on. So let us write quickly. So we are saying basement membrane, which is a characteristic feature of epithelial tissue. The first layer is basal lamina. Another layer is reticular lamina. Now you tell me, out of these two, which is close to epithelial cells? Which is close to epithelial cells? Basal lamina is closer to epithelial cell, or reticular lamina is closer to epithelial cell? Basal lamina. Yes, correct. So basal lamina is made up of proteins and mucopolysaccharides. What it is made up of? Mucopolysaccharides secreted by epithelial cells. Secreted by which cells? Secreted by the epithelial cells. Okay. Basal lamina is made up of proteins and mucopolysaccharides secreted by what? Secreted by the epithelial cells. Now, next. Come on, tell me. What is below epithelial tissue? What is below epithelial tissue? What is below epithelial tissue? Let's say you got injured. You got injured, your skin got peeled. Your skin got peeled. Epithelial tissue is damaged. Now there is whitish colored tissue seen. Some reddening is occurring. Little bit blood spots are coming now. Below epithelial tissue. Below epithelial tissue, there is connective tissue. Correct answer, Mohan Sain. And the answer is areolar tissue. So below your epithelial tissue, there is connective tissue. So if you get injured, you got a cut, why there is bleeding? Because below your epithelial, there is connective tissue. Connective tissue is highly vascular, blood supply is very high, so blood comes out. So reticular lamina is secreted by connective tissue. It is secreted by which tissue, guys? Connective tissue, and is made up of fibers. Made up of fibers, especially collagen and reticular fibers. Collagen and reticular fibers. Apply your common sense. Apply your common sense. Little bit common sense apply. You studied areolar connective tissue last year. Areolar connective tissue, there is fibroblast. Fibroblast will make the collagen fiber. So when I am saying reticular lamina, it is the second layer and it is made up of fibers. So who will make the fiber? Areolar connective tissue cells will make it. So who made the reticular lamina? The reticular lamina, the second layer of the basement membrane, is secreted by connective tissue, which is made up of fibers, collagen and reticular fibers. Collagen and reticular fibers. Are you getting me, guys? So very important point. Few rare PYQs are there. Might be asked. Okay. Correct. Shall we go ahead now? Yes, everyone. Shall we go ahead? Written, not written? Everyone written, everyone? Shall we go ahead? Come on, give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up if you have written. Give me a thumbs up. Done, done, done. Okay. Okay, perfect, guys. Perfect, 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 perfect. Let us continue. Come on. So, once we have understood the basement membrane, now let's move ahead. Epithelial tissue is basically classified into two simple structures. If it is made up of single layer of cells, simple epithelium. Multiple layer of cells, compound epithelium. Single layer of cell, simple. So whenever you want exchange of gases, diffusion, filtration, some secretion, some absorption you want simple epithelium. Single layer of cell, easy exchange will occur. But if you want protection, a protective layer has to be formed. Then what you need? You need compound epithelium. Then what you need, guys? You need compound epithelium. Now come on, Tell me, what is the another name for compound epithelium? Multiple layer compound epithelium. Can you tell me another name starting from S? Starting from S, what is the another name of compound epithelium? Another name of compound epithelium, guys. Yes, anyone? Compound epithelium is also called as, few students, Rinmai correct, Krishna correct, yes, Gamer also correct, yes, Catherine absolutely right. Compound is also called as stratified, very good. Compound is also called as stratified. So strata means different layers. So multiple layers are present. So compound we can also call them as stratified, okay? So if the stratified compound epithelium ends with squamous, then it will be called as stratified squamous. If there is multiple layer of cuboidal cell, then we will say stratified cuboidal. If it is multiple layer of columnar stratified, then we will say stratified columnar. Okay, however, that classification is not required. Only small point about compound or stratified is given in NCERT. That much is enough for our syllabus. Are we clear? Chalo, moving ahead. Next point. Characteristic of epithelial cells. Now what we are going to talk about? Characteristics of epithelial cell. What is the first characteristic? You studied human health and disease. You studied human health and disease. In that you studied innate immunity. And in innate immunity you studied physical barrier. In innate immunity you studied physical barrier. What is the purpose of physical barrier? Physical barrier prevents the entry of the foreign bodies. Physical barrier prevents the entry of foreign bodies. And we studied that epithelial tissue makes the covering or lining. Epithelial tissue makes the covering or lining. Epithelial tissue makes the covering or lining. So you tell me, if epithelial tissue is making the protective covering or lining, you want compact packing, tight packing, or you want loose packing? You want gap between the cells. So what do you want? For a protective covering, you want tight packing, compact packing of the cells, or you want loose packing of the cells? What we need? We need compact packing. That's why in epithelial tissue, the cells are compactly packed. The cells are compactly packed, or I will say they are tightly packed, Baba. They are tightly packed to prevent any leakage. Nothing should leak outside, nothing should leak in. Sir, sweat is coming, sebaceous gland is coming. For sweat and sebaceous gland, there is a separate opening on your skin. That for sweat and sebaceous secretion, oil secretion is there. Are we clear with this, guys? Compactly packed, tightly packed. Now you tell me simple thing. To make a compact packing, you want many cells or you want less number of cells? To make compact packing, you want to make a boundary, fully tight boundary. You need a lot of cells, many cells or less cells? You need many cells. So for epithelial cells, many cells are required. Many cells are required. Compact packing is there. Arey Baba, when the cells are tightly packed, the space between the cell will be less or more. When cells are tightly packed, intercellular space will be more or less. Intercellular space will become less. So what I am saying, due to compact packing, intercellular space, the space between two cells is very, very less. Very less intercellular space, and due to very less intercellular space, there is very little intercellular matrix. Koncham tight packing, koncham space, very little space, and due to which there is very little intercellular matrix. Very little intercellular matrix. Are you getting me, guys? Now think about blood. Think about blood, or think about areolar connective tissue. Bring the diagram in front of you. Areolar connective tissue. Areolar connective tissue, okay. Some fibroblast is there. Some adipocyte is there. Some plasma cell is there. Some WBC is there. Some macrophage is there. Fibers are there. Lot of space is there. Lot of gaps are there. Intercellular space is very large. Cell numbers are very less. Connective tissue is exactly opposite. Connective tissue, very less number of cells. Connective tissue, very less number of cells. If less number of cells, intercellular space will increase. Intercellular space increases, ground substance will increase. Fibers will be there in that space. See, every tissue has a different function. Tissue is protective, lining and covering. It has to do tight packing. Tight packing, space ledu, very kuncham intercellular matrix. So this is the first important characteristic point of epithelial tissue. Next point. Next point. If you have understood this, then we will write the next point. Next point is epithelial tissue is avascular. What it is? It is avascular. Come on, tell me the meaning of avascular. Epithelial tissue is avascular. What is the meaning of avascular? Come on, guys, tell me. What is the meaning of avascular? What is the meaning of avascular, guys? Blood supply ledu. Blood supply leda? Yes. Avascular means no blood supply. If there is no blood supply, tell me, if there is no blood supply, where they will get the nourishment from? If epithelial tissue doesn't have blood supply, where they will get nourishment? Where the cells will get oxygen, glucose, energy, where your skin will get vitamin A, E? Where? What is below the epithelial tissue? I told you, when you get injured, below the epithelial tissue is what there? Below the epithelial tissue there is connective tissue. Below the epithelial tissue there is connective tissue, and connective tissue is exactly opposite, highly vascular. Connective tissue is highly vascular, blood supply is very, very high. So when you smile, when you blush, your cheeks become red, blushed. Yes, why that redness is coming? Epithelial tissue is there, na skin, why it becomes red in color? Why? Because below there is connective tissue, and connective tissue is highly vascular. So blood supply is there. Nutrients, gases, vitamins, minerals, they will diffuse from connective tissue and go to epithelial tissue. So basically the nourishment of epithelial tissue is done from the lower connective tissue by the diffusion process. Are we clear with this, guys? Are we clear? So avascular doesn't mean no nutrition. Blood supply ledu, but nutrition they are getting from the lower connective tissue. Are we clear with this? Shall we go ahead now? Come on, boys and girls, shall we go ahead? So all these points we have already revised. All these points we have already revised. Are we clear? Epithelial tissue has a free surface, either faces outside environment or important inner lining. Cells are compactly packed, little intercellular matrix. Intercellular matrix is ground substance. There are two types, single layer, simple epithelium, multiple layer, compound or stratified. Now let's start with the first one, simple epithelial tissue. Are we ready, everyone? Come on, let us start with the simple epithelial tissue first. Areolar tissue is a type of connective tissue only, na sir, but is a avascular. How it take nutrients? By diffusion. See, areolar is vascular. Mohan Sai, areolar is vascular. Via diffusion, the nutrients go into the cells. Okay? ठीक है? Epithelial cells will get via diffusion. Are we clear? Now, simple epithelium. Simple epithelium is composed of single layer of cells. What is their function? They line the body cavities, like your alveoli cavity. Some of the ducts, chinna pancreatic ducts, not the big pancreatic duct, the small branches of the pancreatic duct, the small branches of your salivary gland ducts, the fallopian tubes, the bronchi, the bronchioles, the trachea tube, that is all lined by simple epithelium. Are we clear? Yes. So let us see one by one. You are classifying the simple epithelium based on its structural modification. Simple epithelium is classified on the basis of what? Simple epithelium is classified on the basis of structural modification. Cells are flat, squamous. Cells are cube-like, cuboidal. Cells are tall, column-like, you will say it is columnar. So based on structural modification, simple epithelium is classified into 3 types. Now these 3 types might be having cilia, then they will be called as ciliated. If they are secreting some secretion, they might be called as glandular. If they have microvilli, you can call them as brush border. So that we will study separately. So if cuboidal or columnar has cilia, we call them as ciliated. If they have brush border, microvilli, then we will say they have brush border or microvilli to increase the surface area. So let us see one by one. Which is the first one? Tell me, guys. Which is the first one? Simple squamous epithelium. What is there? Simple squamous epithelium. Everyone ready? Yes? Are you getting me, guys? Are you understanding? Are you understanding? Everything is going bouncer of your head. Are we going very fast, very slow? ठीक है. Simple squamous epithelium. What is the purpose of simple squamous epithelium? Simple squamous epithelium is like your tiles, your flat tiles, your tiles on the floor. They are very thin. They are completely flat, like platyhelminthes, flat. So these cells are also flat. When cells are flat, the nucleus will also become flat. The nucleus will become disc-like. The nucleus will become what like? The nucleus will become disc-like. You take a cell, you compact it, you press it, it will become flat. Yes? So, simple squamous epithelium is made up of single thin layer of flattened cells. And see, wherever squamous epithelium cells are there, they are making the boundaries or lining. They are making boundaries or lining. To make the boundary or lining, there should be no gap. So there should be proper interlocking. There should be proper interlocking of the cells. So squamous epithelial cells are properly interlocked with each other. That's why their boundaries are irregular boundaries. Very, very important. An examiner may trick you. Simple squamous epithelium have single layer of flattened cells with regular boundary. If you write regular boundary as right, your answer will become wrong. The boundaries are what? The boundaries are irregular. Look here. Look here in this diagram. Do you think all these cells have any shape? Is there any shape here? Do you see from the above? Shape is regular or irregular? Look at the shape. The shape is irregular. All these cells here, you can see the shape is irregular. Why there is irregular shape? Because the cells are interlocking. And due to interlocking, the boundaries may become irregular. The boundaries may become irregular, and that is for interlocking with each other. Where they are found? What is the location? Very, very important. What is the location of simple squamous epithelium? They are found in the walls of blood vessels. They are found in the walls of blood vessels. In the body fluid circulation chapter, in body fluid circulation chapter, you studied the histology, the cross section of artery and veins, and capillary was also given. Artery, vein, they have 3-layer wall you studied. Outside layer tunica externa, middle layer tunica media, inner layer tunica interna. So tunica interna lining. Which lining, guys? Tunica interna lining. Tunica interna lining is which one? Simple squamous epithelium. Yes? So walls of blood vessels, especially the tunica intima, or we can also call it as interna of artery and vein. Of artery and vein will be which layer? Will be your simple squamous epithelium. Now comes the blood capillary. Blood capillary, lymphatic capillary, that is single cell wall thick. So if this pen here, if you see this pen, let's say this is a blood capillary. What is the blood capillary wall made up of? The blood capillary wall is made up of simple squamous epithelium, single cell thick. And What is simple squamous epithelium of the blood vessels also called as? Can you tell me? Walls of blood vessels, simple squamous epithelium is also called as what? It is called as endothelium. What it is called as? Endothelium. So the internal lining of artery vein, internal lining of the lymphatic capillary, internal lining of the blood capillaries, it is simple squamous epithelium for the quick diffusion of the gases, the nutrients, the water soluble substances can easily diffuse out. Am I clear? And it is called as the endothelium. Endo means inside. Endo means inside. Thelium means epithelial. Thelium means epithelial. So endothelium. And then the another example given in the NCERT is air sac of the lungs. What is the air sac of the lung? The air sac of the lung is alveoli. And alveoli epithelium is called as what? Alveolar epithelium. What it is called? Alveolar epithelium. That is also your simple squamous epithelium. What it is? Simple squamous epithelium. Are you able to recall? This is given in breathing and exchange of gases. If you recall, breathing and exchange of gases, there is a topic of a respiratory membrane. Let's revise quickly. In breathing and exchange of gases, there is a topic called as respiratory membrane. The gas has to diffuse or exchange to three layers. Alveoli. There is a alveoli, yes. There is a alveoli. Okay, this color is not being seen. So there is a alveoli, guys. And alveoli is surrounded by blood capillary. Alveoli is surrounded by blood capillary. What is the alveoli lined by? Alveoli is lined by simple squamous epithelium. Alveoli is lined by simple squamous epithelium. The blood capillary is also lined by simple squamous epithelium. And in between there is basement substance. In between what is there? In between there will be basement membrane, or we can say basement substance. And what is the combined three-layer thickness? Alveolar epithelium, basement substance, and blood capillary endothelium. The combined three layers are called as the respiratory membrane. The thickness is less than 1 millimeter. The thickness, combined three thickness is less than 1 millimeter. It is given in the NCERT line. And what is the importance of that? That simple epithelium is so thin. Actually, it is 0.1 millimeter. Actually, it is 0.1 millimeter in thickness. So for fast diffusion, quick exchange of gases, the thickness is less than 1 millimeter. That is the importance of simple squamous epithelium. One more example I will give you. Remember, I hope you have written the endothelium. Now tell me, let's clean this and let's magnify this little bit. Another structure. You tell me what is the structure I am drawing. Okay? Look at the structure and tell me what I am drawing here. What is this, guys? Tell me fast. What is this? Bowman's capsule, correct? Yes, absolutely right. That is Bowman's capsule. So Bowman's capsule lining is what? Tell me. Bowman's capsule lining is also simple squamous epithelium. Here the lining is also simple squamous epithelium. So Bowman's capsule is also lined by simple squamous epithelium. Now remember one more thing. You studied a cell called as podocytes. You remember finger-like projections are there. Finger-like projections are there close to the glomerular blood capillary, making the filtration slits. Making which slits? Filtration slits. What are these cells called as? These cells are called as the podocytes. Do you remember or not? Podocytes. 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 Yes? Now look at this pen. Look at this pen. Okay? This is the pen here. Let's say this is blood capillary. What is this? This is blood capillary. And that is your glomerular blood capillary. Glomerular blood capillary is also simple squamous epithelium, endothelium we studied. Then there is podocyte very close to it. Podocyte is holding the blood capillary like this. Look at this. Podocytes are holding the blood capillary like this. And in between the finger there is gap. In between the finger there is gap. In between the finger there is gap. What is this gap? You call as filtration slits. You call it as filtration slits. So what are the podocytes modified form of? Podocytes are modified form of nothing but simple squamous epithelium. Podocytes are also what? Modified form of which epithelium, guys? Come on, tell me. Podocytes are also modified form of simple squamous epithelium. Are we clear with this, everyone? Yes or no? Are we clear? So now you tell me, if an examiner asks you, podocyte is made up of which tissue? Is it given in the NCERT directly? Is it given in the NCERT excretion chapter directly? They have not given it. But they may ask. In Gosalites, sometimes we have asked this question previously also, that podocytes are modified form of which cells? Podocytes are modified form of simple squamous epithelium. Why only simple squamous epithelium? Why only simple squamous? Because simple squamous will allow the diffusion very fast. Here also 3 layers are there, my friends. 3 layers. Respiratory membrane also 3 layer. Filtration membrane also 3 layer. Glomerular blood capillary endothelium. Podocyte lining. Squamous epithelial cells. In between them there is basement membrane. In between them there is a basement membrane. So that makes how many layer, guys? That makes 3 layers. So this type of applied question can be asked to you. So you have to be smart. You have to remember the NCERT lines, but you need to connect the dots. You need to connect one concept with the another concept. Can it be asked there also? Are we clear? Come on, moving ahead. Let's go ahead. Now next, after simple squamous epithelium, what is next? After simple squamous epithelium, we are going to talk about cuboidal epithelium. Come on, let us talk about cuboidal epithelium. Let's go ahead. Cuboidal epithelium, next. So cuboidal epithelial cells, the cells are cube-like cell. Cells are cube-like. So nucleus will be what shape? Nucleus will be spherical in shape. Nucleus will be spherical. Nucleus shape will become spherical in shape. Nucleus will become spherical in shape. Spherical shape nucleus. Single layer of cells where they are present. Location number 1 as per NCERT. NCERT says the cuboidal epithelium is present in ovaries and seminiferous tubule, and it is called as germinal epithelium. What it is called as, guys? It is called as germinal epithelium. So if you recall little bit of structure of your, let's say, if you recall structure of TS of testes and your ovary structure. What is happening? This one. Remember ovary structure? This is your our ovary. Okay, let's say this is ovary. What is the ovary lined by? Is the ovary lined by germinal epithelium or not? Yes or no? Ovary is lined by your germinal epithelium, and this is nothing but the simple cuboidal epithelium. What is this here? Simple cuboidal epithelium. That is your germinal epithelium. Similarly, if you recall, you have seen the cross section of TS of testes. When you see the transverse section of testes, you got to saw the seminiferous tubule. The structural and functional unit. The structural and functional unit of testes is seminiferous tubule. So when you take TS of testes, you are going to see seminiferous tubules. Seminiferous tubule, they are tube-like. What like? Tube-like. When you take a cross section of a tube, you will get a circular structure. When you get a cross section of a tube, you will get a circular structure. So here is a circular structure. Some cells are cuboidal, some cells in between tall, some cells cuboidal, some cells tall, some cells cuboidal, some cell tall. Are which are the tall columnar cell? Tell me. The tall columnar cell are Sertoli cell, nurse cells. Yes. And the remaining cell which you see, you call them as spermatogonia. Do you remember spermatogonia? Yes or no? Do you remember spermatogonia, guys? Are spermatogonia is kind of which cell? Spermatogonia is the cuboidal cell. What cell it is? It is a cuboidal cell. So in TS of testes, the seminiferous tubule containing the spermatogonia, that is cuboidal cell. In the ovary, this is our ovary. Ovary is also lined by simple cuboidal epithelium. So what is the cuboidal epithelium of testes and cuboidal epithelium of ovary called as? This is called as the germinal epithelium. What is this called as? Germinal epithelium, because they make the germ cells. So germinal epithelium is present in the testes and the ovaries. Which part of the testes we are seeing? In the testes, they are present in the seminiferous tubules, and they are what? They are nothing but simple cuboidal epithelium. Okay. Next example. Do you recall thyroid follicle? Do you recall thyroid follicles? Thyroid gland here in your neck. Two lobes are there connected by isthmus. There are a lot of different lobules are there. Inside the lobule, if you go in the thyroid gland, you are going to see thyroid follicles. What you are going to see? Thyroid follicles like this. Yes or no? Round thyroid follicles. They are also lined by which cells? They are also lined by cuboidal cells. They are also lined by which cells? Cuboidal cells. So this is also cuboidal cell. What is this cuboidal cell secreting? What is the cuboidal cell secreting? Come on, guys. Array, what is secreted inside? T3 and T4. What is secreted? T3 and T4. What is T3 and T4? T3 and T4 is your triiodothyronin and tetraiodothyronin. That is your thyroxine hormone, Baba. Array, yes. So can I say thyroid gland consisting of thyroid follicles? Now if I ask you a little bit NCERT line, how many thyroid follicles in a single thyroid gland? Roughly 3 million of thyroid follicle is there in a single thyroid gland. Yes? Are yes or no? So these are follicles. These are what, guys? These are thyroid follicles. Outside thyroid follicle, there is one more cell. Can anyone tell me? If you were there in the offline, I would have given you a chocolate for this answer. Tell me which are the cells which are outside the follicles. Which are the cells which are outside the follicles? Do you recall? Do you recall? Mohan Sai, it is an epithelial cell. I want the answer. Very good, Rinmai. Very good. Superb answer. These are called as parafollicular cells. Parafollicular cell, they secrete another hormone which you studied already, thyrocalcitonin. What they secrete? Thyrocalcitonin. See, inside are follicular cells. These cuboidal cells are follicular because they make the thyroid follicle. Outside the follicle, there are parafollicular cells which secrete thyrocalcitonin. Along with the PTH, they regulate the calcium metabolism. Are we clear, boys and girls? Next example of simple cuboidal epithelium. Come on. Bowman's capsule. Then we have what? PCT, loop of Henle, and then the DCT. Are yes or no? Look in the PCT. Look in the PCT. In the PCT, what is there we say? In PCT, we say they are cuboidal cells with brush border epithelium. Cuboidal cells with what epithelium? Brush border epithelium, yes or no? So this is our PCT. This is our PCT, proximal convoluted tubule, which is having simple cuboidal epithelium. Which is having what, guys? Simple cuboidal epithelium with brush border. Brush like border, paint brush, like a paint brush. Yes, also known as microvilli. Also known as microvilli, to increase surface area. To increase what, guys? South Africa nahi hai, surface area. To increase surface area for the reabsorption process. For which process, guys? For the reabsorption process. Do you recall? Do you recall? DCT also cuboidal cell is there. DCT also cuboidal cell is there. But the microvilli may be absent or very quantum in number. DCT also might be having the brush border or might be absent. Now let me address one doubt of some students. Sir, the difference between microvilli and cilia. Many students are having this, they get confused in this. Okay, so let us discuss quickly. So here, if you look the cell, this is the cell, this is the plasma membrane, and this is the nucleus. This is the nucleus, this is the plasma membrane, yes? Now plasma membrane, when the plasma membrane is thrown into folds, the plasma membrane is thrown into folds like this. Yes? Normally the cell would have been like this much only, right? This much is the surface area. But rather than keeping like this, I am folding it. When I am folding the plasma membrane, when the plasma membrane is thrown into folds, when the plasma membrane is thrown into folds, I will get what? I will get chinna finger like projection. Chinna finger like projection. I will call it as microvilli. Looks like a paint brush. So I will call it as a brush border. What I will call it as a brush border. And this helps me to increase the surface area for absorption. It helps me to increase surface area for absorption. Are we clear? Yes. Now it might be cuboidal microvilli or it might be columnar with microvilli. Like in PCT, proximal convoluted tubule, it will be cuboidal with brush border. In small intestine, duodenum, jejunum, it will be columnar with brush border. So there it will change. And what about cilia? Pay attention. Cilia is like hair outgrowth. Cilia is like a hair outgrowth. It is like a hair outgrowth. Are we clear? So this looks like a hair incoming, hair coming out. Yes. So hair like outgrowth. Hair like outgrowth. Then you will say it is ciliated. Does it help in absorption? Does it help in absorption? Does it help in absorption? Absorption function ledu. Movement. Movement of substance. Movement of substance. What will happen here, guys? Movement of substance or particles, or sometimes cells in fallopian tube, it will push the ovum towards the ovary, releases the ovum, goes in the fallopian tube, pushing towards the uterus. That be the function. This is cuboidal ciliated, and this is cuboidal with brush border. Are we clear with this? Vibratile motion. Which motion? Vibratile. Some anti-leptic motion, it is called the anti-leptic metachronal waves. Antileptic metachronal waves, it is a very high language word. It means that the wave is in such a manner, it is pushing the particle or the mucus in one single direction. Are we clear with this, guys? So that's it for today's class. We will stop at simple cuboidal epithelium. We will continue in the next class with simple columnar, compound, glandular epithelium. So that's all for today's class. So thank you so much. That's all. I hope you understood the class. So read and come, revise whatever we have understood in the class. Okay, read and come for the next class. You have the old NCERT with you. If you don't have it, go on Google, type tissue NCERT. Some old PDF will be downloaded. You can revise and go through and come in the class so you can have a better understanding. Are we clear with this, guys? ठीक है? I will share my WhatsApp number. Okay. Please don't disturb me a lot. If genuine doubt is there, you can ask me. Okay. So I will just give me my number 9920189372. You can WhatsApp me your doubts here. No problem. No issues. Okay. Whenever I get free, I will tell you the doubts. And if you want to follow the Insta, you can send me any doubt. No problem, guys. Are we clear with this, guys? So bye-bye. Thank you so much. See you in the next class. Bye, guys.